Hello, everybody. This is Paulo Arias with International Relocation Partner. Today, we are here to just talk a little bit about one of the most frequently asked questions for the expat community who is looking to move into Costa Rica. Today, I have with me, and happy to introduce a friend of mine. I know him for a few years now, uh, Jose Daniel Seco. He is the president of Pet Launch, a company that basically all they do is help people move their pets into Costa Rica. And Jose, say hi to our audience, and hopefully
Hi,
this
Pablo. How
information today.
everybody? Nice to be here.
Yeah, but the reason I wanted to have this this live presentation today is I wanted to help other people move to Costa Rica, and we talk to a lot of people. I'm usually talking to six customers that are looking to move. They wanted to ship a container or a car, but oftentimes they ask me, Paulo, what do I do with my pets? And there are many different ways of doing this. But oftentimes, the only solution or the solution there is have to go through cargo, and there's a lot of little details about it. You have to go through customs, and that's what I want to have. I want to have an expert that like you to help us explain and understand a little bit
Mhm.
about this uh, about these issues. But before we go into the topic, I want to ask you just a little bit more about. I want the audience because I know you for like years. We moved pets from Singapore. We moved pets. I remember from the Philippines. For the Coca Cola people. We have done business before, and I know you. I know you're super capable. You have a structure and you can help people. But I want people to understand and meet you and learn more about your company. Can you tell us about the company, like the pet launch history? How long did you guys start? With your family and so on.
Okay. First of all, I've been working in the freight forwarding business since I had 18 years old. To start shipping pets because a lot of people called us and ask what they do to ship their pet. So 10 years ago, with my brother, that he's a veterinarian, we saw the opportunity and we started Pet Lounge. At the beginning, I think the first year we moved like 100 dogs
At first,
in the first year. So it
that's
was very
crazy.
interesting. And since then, we have shipped more than 9,000 dogs. So
No
it's
way.
yeah.
Well, that's super. That's interesting. I didn't know how big of a market is. I know my customer needs this, but
Mhm.
and I oftentimes I get asked, but I would not know. How much, how many people would need this type of services. That's so interesting. So
Yeah,
is
and
it you?
one thing that is very important is I always see in social media when somebody asks they want to ship their pet, there's always somebody replying, "Don't do it because your dog is gonna die if you ship it as cargo." And I can say that in 10 years, shipping more than 9,000 dogs, no one has died, and no one has any medical complication. So it's very safe.
That's very important. This is I mean, this is their baby. You have your pet. This is your baby, and you
Mhm.
want the best for your dog. And I do believe that could be a concern, but it's also very, I guess, very unlikely for things like that to happen. The risk, I guess, there is a risk, but maybe is very very minimum risk. And after nine flights, so that's a good success rate. That's a pretty good success rate.
Yes, yes, it
You know,
is.
but now I guess we've been having this issue, in the last few years, and this goes for the international shipping and cargo industry. Everything has changed after COVID. You know,
Mhm.
containers are crazy. I know cargo liners may change. Everything has changed. Can you tell us, how did COVID affect your business and the industry?
Well, I can say that before the pandemic, a lot of airlines were shipping pets, like United. United actually was the airline that we used the most to ship dogs and cats. Um, since the beginning of the pandemic, almost all the U.S. airlines stopped shipping pets. Actually, when the pandemic hit Costa Rica, we had a booking already confirmed with United, and I was the first person in the world to know that United was going to stop shipping pets, because I called them. They had a program that it's called Pet Safe. So I called their Pet Safe program and I said, "Can you? We have a dog flying tomorrow. Everything's ready." And they told me, "This is this hasn't go to the general public, but we're stopping our program. We're not going to ship any more pets, and so your booking has been canceled." So since then, um, everything changed. American Airlines stopped, Delta stopped, United. Actually, we were only able to ship pets through the pandemic with DHL and the freighters. So that was very important, because even though the airport stopped and you couldn't fly in commercial flights, we would still be able to ship pets in cargo flights. So we were able to ship pets to Los Angeles and Miami. So everybody in the United States, in Canada, they moved to these locations in order to ship their pet. Um, I think that the first month that the pandemic hit Costa Rica, we shipped like 5 dogs, because everybody was very afraid of the pandemic and they didn't want to fly. Well, they couldn't fly. The person couldn't fly, and they didn't want to ship their pet. So it was difficult, but not as difficult as other companies, because we saw that all the dogs that didn't fly during the worst months of the pandemic moved later. So actually now we have to hire people. We have like we're right now we're shipping like 5 or 6 dogs per day, which is it's a lot. We get like I think 20-25 requests, quote requests per day, and it's been fun, but it's very difficult. Right now, there's just a few airlines allowing from United States allowing dogs to travel. One is American Airlines, the other one is Alaska, and we can also use Avianca and Copa. We still use the freighters, DHL. Well, DHL stopped, they put an embargo because they had I don't know if you saw that in San Jose, a plane crashed. So
Mhm.
they stopped moving pets. There's another one, Aero Union is the other freighter that we use. Um, and one thing that people should know is that shipping pets now is not like in the past. In the past, you were able to take your dog as excess baggage very easily with most of the U.S. carriers, and right now, they are all the airlines are moving to not allow people to travel with their pets as carry-on or excess baggage. They want um, they want them to use cargo and ship their pets as cargo. People ask me why, if it's the same, almost the same thing, they travel in the same place underneath the plane. But the way airlines handle the pet is different. When a dog travels as cargo, the whole cargo team gets under the process, and they can check the weather. They can see if it's gonna be too hot to ship a pet. They they handle all the shipment since the first point that we deliver the pet to the airline until it's delivered in the destination country. Another thing that is important is that if somebody ships a pet as excess baggage, and for some reason the dog cannot travel, for instance, that is too hot in destination, the dog will be removed from the plane. And what happens with the person that is traveling in the plane? So somebody
Hmm.
will have to come to the plane and tell your dog is not going to leave, so you have to unload the plane, onboard the plane, and that's very difficult. And people will sue the airline, request a refund. So things like that is what the airline doesn't want to happen. So that's why they move everybody to cargo.
So one thing is sure, this is not an easy thing to do. There is a lot of moving parts to do this. You have to coordinate with someone to pick up. This person needs to know how to handle pets. Then you have
Mhm.
to coordinate with a veterinarian, get the paperwork ready. Then you have to coordinate with the airline, secure the space. There are many different things that has to happen uh, through normal air cargo, which I deal sometimes with air cargo. But on top of that, you're dealing with a live animal. You're dealing with
Mhm.
many other things, and be able to get to you. I think it's important for our expat community, for the people who are looking to move and relocate to Costa Rica. It's very important for them to talk to an expert about this. Can you give us a little idea, a little glance of what are the basic requirements if you were to do this? I want to ship my pet. I'm moving from Ontario, Canada. I'm moving from California to Costa Rica.
Mhm.
What is it that I need, document wise at least, so people is ready when they go and talk to you?
Yes. First of all, they need to know the health requirements in Costa Rica. In this case, for dogs and cats, well, for dogs, it's required to have rabies vaccine with at least 30 days. Costa Rica doesn't require the 30 days, but most of the airlines require it.
Good.
So you need to get it vaccinated at least 30 days before coming to Costa Rica. Then the dogs need to have the multiple vaccine, that is for leptospirosis, parvovirus, and that. It needs to be dewormed within 14 days of the flight, dewormed internally and externally. And a few days before the flight, they need to get a health certificate. This health certificate needs to be endorsed by in United States by the USDA, and in Canada by the CEFIA. Those are like the entities, the government entities that stamp the papers and make them official. They need to know that if they travel to Costa Rica without a health certificate, the dog will be sent back. So that's very important that they comply with all the health requirements. After that, after they know everything and they have done an appointment with the vet, they should check that the airline they are flying with will accept your dog or your cat. Um, for instance, from Canada right now, the Air Canada, they have a very small plane because they are with low season. So this small plane that they have is not suitable to ship big dogs, only small dogs or cats.
Hmm.
Um, Also, if you're flying out of the United States, you need to be sure that your airline will accept your pet either as carry-on if it's a small pet, as excess baggage, or cargo. Um,
Hmm.
I've seen in social media that somebody posts, I need to travel with my pet to Costa Rica, and everybody will reply, call Alaska, it's very easy. But they need to know that Alaska only flies from the west coast. So if you're in Miami, you cannot use Avianca, obviously. Sorry, Alaska. Um, Also, they need to know that most airlines have breed restrictions,
Hmm.
size
This
restrictions.
is this is a good question. I think you're going to talk about this. Have somebody's lo- watching this? Luis, are there any are there restrictions to move a dog depending on the type of dog or
Yes.
breed? Short
If
nose,
you
long nose.
if
I
you
think
have
it's a popular question.
if you have a snub-nosed dog like a boxer or a English bulldog or French bulldog, you cannot ship them with Alaska or American or any U.S. Carrier. You have to go to Avianca, or you have to go to Copa. Copa accepts all breeds except the English bulldog.
Hmm.
If you have
Interesting.
an English bulldog, that's very complicated. You have to go to Miami and use a freight forwarder and ship it with a freighter like
Mhm.
DHL or Avianca. If you are in the West Coast, you can come to Los Angeles and ship it with Aerounion.
Mhm.
Also, um, they have size restrictions. For example, Alaska, they only accept the maximum height they accept is for the crate 76 centimeters or 30 inches. If you have, for example, a big golden retriever or a Great Dane or something like that that is very huge, you won't be able to take it as excess baggage. You always have to go through cargo. Um, Other carriers, for example, Copa, they only accept crates that are under 85 centimeters. So if you have the biggest plastic kennel that is the 700 series, you cannot ship with Copa. Um, if you are flying in the summer season, for example, if you want to fly this month out of Dallas with American Airlines, it's going to be impossible because they have temperature restrictions. They check the weather forecast 4 hours before the flight, and if the temperature at the time of departure or time of arrival in San Jose is about above 85 degrees Fahrenheit, they will reject the pet.
Mhm.
So these things, um, of course, people won't know it, and
Mhm.
it's going to be hard for them to know everything. So that's when it's a good idea to come to a company like ours, because we know everything. It would be very easy if you just tell me the breed of your dog, the size, the weight, and your origin city. I can give you all the options and give you all the options to treat you.
See, I really like to thank you for taking the time talking to our audience, and we're hoping to share this content within the expat groups with other expat with the expat community and customers. And I know this information is going to be very useful. And a lot of it, a lot of these things, if you don't know, you don't know what you don't know. Meaning, it may be that you have the best idea or the best plan. You talk to the airline, you talk to, and the day of the flight, you may be stuck with a bad surprise. So
Mhm.
just taking the time to talk to an expert is always a good idea. It's always just take the time to speak to an expert, and you at least get an idea of what is their service, what is that they do, how they do it, how do they take care of your pet, and learn more of this. I think this is so important. Thank you very much, Jose. I think we ran out of time, but
You're
hopefully
welcome.
we get to work more and see each other soon.
If anybody has any question, contact me. I'll be happy to answer anything.
Yes, I'd like to put your website here. This is petlaunchcr.com.
Mhm.
That's Jose's website.
They can
Let
send
me
me an
see.
email to info@petlaunchcr.com.
And this is their, petlaunch.com. So thank you very much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.